Gonna be a lot of irate citizens when they find out that they're paying for water that they're not gonna get.
Oh, that's all taken care of. See, Mr. Gibbs, either you bring the water to L.A., or you bring L.A. to the water.
The point of a system is what it does. If you understand the Green Movement, and if you understand the Green Movement for who they are, we wrote an entire book last year talking about the far left and the extreme left, the people who are completely against civilization itself, who are against, in fact, humanity itself. Again, the far left greenies actually view all humans as a pestilence. They view you as an invasive species on our planet, and you, and by the way, all of us, as an invasive species. You think they care when human property gets destroyed? You think they care when lives are lost? No. They want this. They want there to be less people. They think it's beneficial. That's why they put nature and the environment. And by the way, here's the difference, okay? Here's the difference between, an eco-terrorist and a conservationist. If you want to be a conservationist, which is what you should be, you believe in conserving clean air, clean water, clean land, clean grass, clean plants. We all agree on that. But an eco-terrorist actually believes that humanity itself should be destroyed, actually believes that these systems should crumble so that we can get rid of all of these things. And maybe, just so maybe, you might support a fire department that is not run by the most capable people. Maybe you would support, say, a government that's not run by the most capable people. Maybe you would even demonize the most capable people or groups of people that you consider your enemies. Maybe you would go and put up people who are completely unqualified in your fire department because you want the fires to spread. I'm not saying they say it publicly, but deep down. And how do we know this? Because we've seen them do it in country after country after country for over 250 years. And then you can go back to the California water wars, and you can go back to Jack Nicholson, and they talk about it. They talk about how it's money and power. It's water and power. Water and power. For those of you from Philly, it's wooder and power. Wooder and power. Because the idea is, when you're living in an arid climate like that, they understand that that's where the power comes from, that you have the ability to control lives, to control the future. You think BlackRock isn't looking at this and licking their chops right now? You think the CCP isn't licking their chops? Wake up. President Trump should ban it wholesale. He should ban it outright. There are certain states that do this. Kansas bans it. Just go right ahead. Say BlackRock can't come in here. Say this is a disaster area. This has been declared a national disaster zone, and as such, there will be certain protections given to the residents. And oh by the way, for the people who do live there, obviously who have had issues, we'll give them disaster relief. Then you can have a low interest loan. Or so, we give hundreds of millions and billions to Ukraine on these loans that are never going to be repaid. We're perfectly fine, perfectly happy to give those out to the military-industrial complex, to Ukraine, to Zelensky. They got their billions. You can't get a couple million for the American people? Even for, dare I say, even for the people of California who probably aren't quite with me when it comes to politics. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Who is in charge in this country? The American people or the elites? The American people or the special interests? I love, guys, can you put that still up of Nicholson and Huston from Chinatown? Because that's it. That's the best part of it. And that's where that famous line comes from at the end, too. Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown. What they're talking about is, and I'm not going to spoil the end of the movie, and I highly encourage everyone to go see it, but I highly encourage people to understand what the movie is about, what they're saying. He realizes, Jake, the main character, realizes what's going on. He realizes the corruption. He realizes the special interests. He realizes that's what's going on. And he's like, how do I fight it? What do I do? And they say, forget it, Jake. forget it. There's nothing you can do. Well, the MAGA movement exists as a response to all of that. The MAGA movement exists as a response to say, no, we are a populist movement and we are a people's movement, and we're not going to forget it, Jake. We're not going to forget it at all. We're going to remember the crooked elites. We're going to remember the special interests. We're going to remember, and we're going to fight back. In the same way that we talked about It's a Wonderful Life and how It's a Wonderful Life and Mr. Potter, it's just like Mr. Potter all over again. The corrupt elites, the debt slavery, what are they all trying to get? They're trying to get your land